Hi everyone, it's Dr. Nikki. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen. Today I'd like to show you how to make a quick, simple, raw oatmeal recipe. And all you need are the ingredients here. So for raw oatmeal, you want to begin by soaking the oats for about 24 hours. So you start off by measuring 1 cup of either steel cut oats or rolled oats. And this is what they look like when they're in their dry form. So you put the raw oats in a bowl, and then you mix it with 3 cups of purified water. So I like to filter out the fluoride in my water. And you cover it with the water, you let it sit for about 12 hours. And then when 12 hours comes, you kind of rinse out that water, and you'll see different particles in there, and a lot of what that is the starches that are breaking down, and phytic acid, which is an anti-nutrient, and that also gets washed out of the grains. Then you cover it with water again, you let it sit for another 12 hours, and then it'll look like this, very soft texture, very mushy. And so you put that into your blender or your Vitamix. And you'll see that it's going to grow. From 1 cup, it grows into much larger because it absorbs all the water. Or not all the water, but some of the water. So you put that into your blender. And then next you put 2 tablespoons of purified filtered water. Then you take 3 tablespoons of organic raisins. So raisins and grapes are one of those fruits that they often use pesticides with. So you really want to make sure it's organic. And then you're next going to add half of an organic apple. And you can just cube it up. Make sure you take the core out and the seeds out. I leave the skin on. Wonderful. And then I've kind of created this recipe. I tried it one way and then I started adding some superfoods to it. So for this recipe, I am adding cinnamon. So you can add ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. So I have my little measurement sticks here, measurement spoons. And you can add more cinnamon if you like cinnamon. So here's ½ teaspoon. And then I also like to add ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. And this is all for flavor. Wonderful. And then I like to add ½ tablespoon of coconut oil. So this just adds some fat to the recipe and allows us to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins. And then I do just a little pinch of salt, and that just helps to tie in some of the flavors. Not too much. This is Himalayan salt. And then I also do just a teaspoon of maple syrup. And you can choose to add a little bit more if you like it sweeter, but the grapes and the apples make it, the raisins and the apples make it plenty sweet. So you just mix all of that in together. And so now you're going to blend it up, and it's going to be thick. It ends up coming out tasting kind of like a dessert, which I love. So you may have to pulse the blender a few times. If you have a Vitamix, you can tamper it with the stick. So we'll do that now. So when you put it in the blender, you don't want it to become liquid completely. You do want it to still have some texture. So I'm going to pour it back into the bowl. And it is going to be a little bit more of like a pudding texture. So if you look, it does have kind of a pudding consistency. When you taste it, so good. Wow. So delicious. It almost tastes like dessert, but it's dessert you can eat for breakfast. Please leave your comments in the box below. There's also a link to the recipe in the box below. And please enjoy your raw oatmeal recipe. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Please subscribe to the channel. Bye.